Welcome to the YouTube channel Math Skill. Today let's discuss about the chapter Quadratic Equations. The numerical is solve the equation 5x square minus 6x minus 2 equals 0 by the method of completing the squares. This is part of CBSE as well as NCERT syllabus for 10th standard. I am your trainer Venkatesh K. Now let's note down the given equation. I have noted down the given equation. Now the expectation is we will have to find the roots of this particular given equation by the method of completing the squares. Earlier we have found out the roots of the quadratic equations using a method called as factorization. Completing the squares method is one such method, wherein this method involves 4 different steps. But before proceeding to what the steps are, now let us analyze the equation. The given equation contains x square term as a first term, second term contains x term, and third term is a constant term. Therefore it looks like the equation ax square plus bx plus c equals 0, which is a standard form of quadratic equation. Now let us proceed with the method of completing squares. Here the first step is to convert the first term 5x square as a perfect square. That is, we want to express it in the form of a square. Now in order to do that, we can divide the first term by 5, wherein upon dividing the first term by 5, 5x square by 5 would be equal to x square, which is a perfect square. That is, it looks like a square term. Or it could as well be done by multiplying the first term by 5, wherein by multiplying the first term by 5, that is 5x square by 5, or 5 by 5x square would be equal to 25x square, or 25x square would also be defined as 5x whole square. That is, because there is a whole square term, which means it is a perfect square, which completes the step number 1. Step number 2 is to represent the middle term as 2ab term. Step number 3 is to add and subtract b square term. Step number 4 is to apply the formula either a plus b whole square or a minus b whole square and simplify to find the value of the roots of the x. Now whether a plus b whole square is to be applied or a minus b whole square formula is to be applied, it is dependent on the sign of the middle term. Because the middle term contains minus sign here, that is, here we would be getting minus 2ab, which means a minus b whole square formula is to be applied. Now we will proceed and solve the problem. In order to solve, let's multiply the first term 5x square by 5 so that it is expressed in the form of a perfect square. In order to multiply the first term by 5, let us multiply both LHS as well as RHS by number 5. Upon multiplication, we see that 5 is multiplied to the entire equation on LHS, and on RHS it is multiplied to 0. So in order to simplify the RHS, any number multiplied by 0 would be equal to 0. Also on LHS, let's apply distributive rule, wherein 5 would get multiplied to all the terms. 5 into 5x square is 25x square, plus 5 into minus 6x is minus 30x, plus 5 into minus 2 is minus 10, is equal to 5 multiplied by 0 is 0. Now even after multiplying 5 to 5x square, which is first term, we see that here we have got 25x square, which is not in the form of a perfect square. Now let us simplify this. 25x square can also be written as 5 square multiplied by x square, or it can also be written as 5x whole square. Now we see that because there is a whole square for a bracketed term, which means it's a perfect square, let's substitute in place of 25x square, that is 25x square is substituted as 5x whole square, which means we have modified the first term 5x square by some simplification, wherein it is now expressed as a perfect square, which means step number 1 is completed. Step number 2 is to express the middle term, which is minus 30x, as a minus 2ab term. Now let us see how to do that. So here we would simplify minus 30x in the form of, so 30, because it is an even number, it can be expressed in the form of a factor of 2. Therefore 2 multiplied by remaining terms, I would try to rearrange in such a way that because I have a square here, so whatever is the a, because it should look like a 2ab term, and a in this case is 5x. Therefore, 2 into 5x into multiplied by whatever is left. Now, if you multiply entire terms again, 2 5s are 10, 10 3s are 30. Means 30x I am getting back, which is LHS. Means the simplification is not wrong. So, let us substitute these terms in the equation. That is, the equation would be 5x whole square minus, in place of 30x, this substitution is made as minus 2 into 5x into 3, which is 2 into a into whatever is left is now b. So this completes step number 2. Now proceeding to step number 3, which is to add and subtract b square term. So let us add and subtract 3 square on LHS. Upon adding and subtracting 3 square on LHS, the other terms would remain as it is, whereas we would be adding and subtracting 3 square. Now the first three terms, that is 5x whole square minus 2 into 5x into 3 plus 3 square minus 3 square minus 10 is equal to 0, wherein we have added and subtracted the b square term, which completes the step number 3. Now the first three terms is looking like a minus b whole square, which is equal to a square minus 2ab plus b square, or the same three terms, if written on LHS, it would be a square minus 2ab plus b square is equal to a minus b whole square. Now, the three terms of the formula and three terms in the equation what we have is looking similar, wherein where there is a, there is 5x, and where there is b, there is number 3. Therefore, it could be rewritten as 5x minus 3 whole square. For these three terms, there is a formula which is applied, which is a minus b whole square minus 3 square is 9 minus 10 as it is. Now, these two numbers would get simplified. 9 and 10 are both having same sign. Therefore, it would get added up and become 19 in next step, that is 5x minus 3 whole square minus 19 is equal to 0. Or upon transpose of minus 19 towards the RHS, minus 19 is becoming plus 19. That is what we see here. In next step, 19, if 2 is transposed, square is transposed towards the right hand side, then plus 19 would become plus or minus square root of 19, or 5x minus 3 is equal to plus or minus square root of 19. If 3 is transposed towards the RHS, minus 3 would become plus 3, that is 3 plus or minus square root of 19, which implies 5x is equal to 3 plus square root of 19, or 5x is equal to 3 minus square root of 19. Upon dividing by 5, we would get x is equal to 3 plus square root of 19 divided by 5, or x is equal to 3 minus square root of 19 divided by 5. These two values of x are the required roots of the given equation. Thank you.